Okay, today I will do a brief introduction on Henry David Thoreau, the environmentalist. And please note that he is not just another environmentalist, he is the environmentalist, because he brought up the idea of preserving the environment almost 200 years ahead of our generation. Okay, so some background information about Thoreau. He was a very famous writer and philosopher, born in 1817, and he later went to study in Harvard and started his job as a teacher until 1841, and lived a very seclusive life since then. His two major pieces of work are Walden and Civil Disobedience. The first one is a nonfiction, talks about his 2 years of life living beside the Walden Pond, and the Civil Disobedience talks about the idea that citizens have the right to not obey what their government tells them to do if they think the government became abusive of its power. But since today we will be focusing on the environmental aspect, I will only talk about the Walden. And here's a quote. It says, "Live the life you have imagined," and I will talk about this quote in a minute. Okay, so Walden. Before I talk about Walden, I want to introduce a term called transcendentalism. It is often concurrently mentioned with Thoreau, but what does it really mean? It's a belief that people have knowledge about themselves and the knowledge of the world around them that transcend or goes beyond what they can hear, they can see, feel, and touch. And that kind of knowledge comes not from logic or senses, but comes from intuition and imagination. Transcendentalism emphasizes the importance of harmony and balance between nature and life, that no one should be bound to the pursuit of the material world. Like he said, a man should follow his heart and live the life that he has imagined, and Thoreau take this belief into practice. For 2 years, Thoreau carried out the most well-known experiment of self-reliance by living beside the Walden Pond. He built a hut and lived there without anyone's help, and lived self-sufficiently without the trappings and interference of the society around him. Later, when he wrote about the simplicity and unity of the nature, his faith in humanity, and his individualism, Thoreau reminded that it is a waste to pursue wealth and follow social custom, because nature can show that all good things are wild and free. While believing in the beauty of nature, Thoreau also was an active figure in preserving the environment, and this idea connects to our modern society. In Thoreau's time, there is no such thing as protecting the environment, because people thought the environment had unlimited resources and can heal itself, but it turns out that it's not the case. Human activities became increasingly harmful, especially after the Industrial Revolution. Activities such as coal burning and fuel burnings polluted the environment, and people did not bring up the idea of protecting the environment until late 1900s. Thoreau was among the first, if not the first, one to advocate the idea of protecting the environment, and this idea still affects us nowadays. I want to end my presentation with another quote. It reads, "How vain it is to sit down and write when you have not stood up to live." We know that Thoreau is a very eminent writer, but he thinks there's no point for him to write if he has not lived the life he wanted. And that's one of the core values of transcendentalism, that is, live the life you have imagined. Thank you.
Nice.